Squid Game Season 3, the final chapter of Wang Dong-yuk's global phenomenon, delivers a relentless, emotionally charged conclusion that pushes the series' themes of capitalism, desperation, and humanity to their limits. Released on June 27th, 2025 on Netflix, this 6-episode season picks up immediately after the devastating Season 2 finale, diving headfirst into a darker, more visceral exploration of human nature. While it surpasses Season 2 in narrative, cohesion, and character depth, Season 3 struggles with an ending that feels both inevitable and divisive. Below, I'll break down the key points, character relationships, improvements over Season 2, major deaths, and the controversial conclusion to the show. So a quick disclaimer before I do get into my review of Squid Game Season 3, if you haven't watched the show yet, I would advise not watching this video if you don't want spoilers. The key points of Season 3, a darker, more focused narrative. Season 3 wastes no time reintroducing the high-stakes tension that made Squid Game a cultural juggernaut. Following the failed rebellion in Season 2, Gi-hun, Lee Jung-jae, is broken, consumed by guilt over the deaths of his allies, particularly his best friend Jung-bae. I really hope I'm pronouncing these names right, I'm sorry if I'm not. The season explores his descent into despair and rage, transforming him from the optimistic everyman of Season 1 into a vengeful, morally compromised figure. The games themselves, hide and seek, jump rope, and the climactic Sky Squid Game amplify the series' signature blend of childhood nostalgia and gruesome stakes, with each round designed to exploit psychological and physical vulnerabilities. With hide and seek, players are divided into keys, hiders with keys to escape a maze, and knives, seekers armed with blades. The 30-minute time limit forces seekers to kill or face elimination themselves, creating a harrowing atmosphere of betrayal and survival. The maze's sprawling, multi-level set is a visual standout, enhancing the claustrophobic dread. Jump rope. Players must jump over a heavy rope swung by dolls, Young-hee and Chul-soo, across a bridge with a deadly gap. The game's simplicity belies its physical toll, especially for injured players like Jun-hee. Like every other game, however, what makes it super difficult is that you cannot trust anyone that you're playing with. And the Sky Squid Game. The final game takes place on 3 towering platforms, square, triangle, and circle, where players must eliminate one another to progress. Its vertigo, inducing height, and brutal rules underscore the season's theme of sacrifice versus greed. Humanity versus greed. Season 3 doubles down on the series' critique of capitalism, using the newborn player 222 as a symbol of humanity's hope and vulnerability. The inclusion of a baby in the game sparks debate among players about fairness and morality, highlighting the dehumanizing nature of the system. Gi-hun's arc, particularly his final sacrifice, challenges the frontman's cynical worldview that humanity is irredeemable, offering a bittersweet commentary on selflessness in a corrupt world. The frontman's moral dilemma. In-ho, played by Lee Byung-hun, the frontman, emerges as a complex antagonist. His interactions with Gi-hun in Season 2, disguised as Young-il, and his actions in Season 3, delivering Gi-hun's winnings to his daughter Ga-young, and sparing baby 222, suggest a flicker of redemption. The season's final scene, featuring a cameo by Cate Blanchett as a recruiter in Los Angeles, hints at the game's global expansion, leaving In-ho's future ambiguous. Character relationships. Gi-hun and the frontman. The dynamic between Gi-hun and In-ho is the emotional core of Season 3. In-ho's manipulation in Season 2, posing as an ally only to betray Gi-hun, sets up a psychological showdown. In Season 3, In-ho challenges Gi-hun's belief in humanity, asking, "Player 456, do you still have faith in people?" Gi-hun's final act, sacrificing himself for baby 222, answers this question, shaking In-ho's worldview. Their relationship evolves from adversarial to a reluctant mutual respect, with In-ho's decision to deliver Gi-hun's winnings to Ga-young suggesting he's been moved by Gi-hun's selflessness. Jun-hee, Mi-young-gi, and baby 222. Jun-hee and Mi-young-gi, the parents of baby 222, have a fractured relationship rooted in Mi-young-gi's abandonment of Jun-hee during her pregnancy. In the games, Mi-young-gi's greed drives him to betray Jun-hee, culminating in his horrific act of killing Hyun-ju to protect his ex. Jun-hee's sacrifice in jump rope, stepping off the platform to save her baby, contrasts sharply with Mi-young-gi's selfishness, as he later threatens to kill his own child to win Sky Squid Game. Gi-hun's protection of baby 222 honors Jun-hee's dying wish, creating a surrogate father-daughter bond that underscores his redemption. Gi-um-ja and Yong-sik. The mother-son duo of Gi-um-ja and Yong-sik provides one of the season's most heartbreaking arcs. Entering the games to pay off Yong-sik's gambling debts, their strained relationship is tested in hide and seek. Gi-ja's decision to kill Young-sik to protect Jun-hee and her baby is a gut-wrenching moment of maternal sacrifice, leading to her own suicide from guilt. This arc amplifies the series' exploration of familial bonds under extreme pressure. Hyun-ju and her allies. Hyun-ju, Park Sung-hoon, the transgender ex-soldier introduced in Season 2, shines as a fan favourite. Her bravery and leadership in hide and seek, helping Jun-hee give birth and finding an exit, cement her as a selfless hero. Her alliances with Gi-ja and Jun-hee highlight her protective instincts, making her death at Mi-young-gi's hands all the more devastating. How Season 3 improves on Season 2. I'm not sure about you guys, but I really wasn't a big fan of Season 2, but we can get into that in another video. Season 2, while ambitious, felt incomplete, serving as a setup for Season 3 with a sprawling cast and a voting system that diluted the game's intensity. Season 3 addresses these shortcomings in several ways. Tighter narrative structure. Season 2's pacing suffered from its focus on Gi-hun's rebellion and new characters, leaving many plot threads unresolved. Season 3, treated as the second half of a single story, delivers a more cohesive arc, resolving Gi-hun's journey and the game's outcome. The immediate jump into hide and seek sets a relentless pace, avoiding the slower build-up of Season 2. Deeper character development. While Season 2 introduced compelling characters like Hyun-ju and Jun-hee, their arcs felt really underdeveloped. Season 3 gives characters like Gi-ja, Mi-young-gi, and Hyun-ju more emotional weight, with quiet moments outside the games fleshing out their motivations. Gi-hun's descent into darkness and eventual redemption is more nuanced than his Season 2 rage, making his arc more compelling. More impactful games. Season 2's games, like Six-Legged Pentathlon, lacks the visceral punch of Season 1's Tug of War or Marbles. Season 3's games are more inventive and emotionally charged, particularly hide and seek, which rivals Season 1's Marbles for its psychological intensity. The use of height and jump rope and Squid Game adds a fresh dimension of fear, addressing Season 2's lack of verticality. Stronger thematic resonance. Season 2 leaned heavily on rebellion, but struggled to balance its social commentary with action. Season 3 sharpens the critique of capitalism and human nature, using Baby 222 to explore hope and corruption. The moral dilemmas, whether to kill a newborn baby for money or sacrifice oneself, are more poignant than Season 2's voting system, which felt repetitive. Gi-hun's death and the ending. The finale, set during Squid Game, is both the season's emotional peak and its most divisive element. With only Gi-hun, Mi-young-gi, and Baby 222 remaining, the final round requires one player's elimination. Gi-hun and Mi-young-gi engage in a brutal knife fight, with Mi-young-gi threatening to kill his own child for the prize. Gi-hun prevails, but Mi-young-gi's death doesn't count, as they fail to press the start button. Faced with the choice of killing the baby or himself, Gi-hun delivers a final speech. "We are not horses, we are humans. And humans are." He leaves the sentence unfinished, stepping backward off the platform to his death, ensuring Baby 222's victory. I really like that they left that sentence unfinished because it adds way more weight and impact to it. It could mean so many things. How humans can be beautiful, but also extremely selfish, greedy, and so on. Gi-hun's sacrifice is the culmination of his arc, restoring his belief in humanity after a season of darkness. It directly challenges the frontman's nihilism, proving that selflessness can triumph over greed. The horse motif, recurring since Season 1, underscores Gi-hun's rejection of being a pawn in the VIP's game. Creator Wang Dong-hyuk and star Lee Jung-jae emphasize that Gi-hun's decision reflects his desire to protect hope, symbolized by the baby, and mirrors his feelings for his own daughter, Ga-young. In-ho, moved by Gi-hun's act, delivers Gi-hun's bloodied 456 jumpsuit and winnings to Ga-young in Los Angeles, informing her of her father's death. This act suggests In-ho's partial redemption through his encounter with a recruiter, Kate Blanchett, playing Daki in an alley, hints at the game's continuation elsewhere. Jun-ho, Nool, and Gi-yeon-suk escape the island, while Baby 222 is left with Jun-ho. Her future uncertain but hopeful. The ending polarizes viewers. Some praise its emotional weight and thematic closure, with Gi-hun's sacrifice seen as a powerful statement. Others, as seen in next posts, find it unsatisfying, arguing Gi-hun's death renders his rebellion futile and leaves his daughter without a father despite his wealth. Critics note that while the ending delivers on tragedy, it risks undermining the series' revolutionary spirit by suggesting the games are unstoppable. Season 3 earns a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, reflecting strong critical approval, though some reviews call the ending weak or unsatisfying. The season's strengths lie in its intense set pieces, character-driven drama, and unflinching social commentary. Lee Jung-jae's performance as Gi-hun is a standout, capturing his transformation from despair to redemption. However, the VIP's cartoonish portrayal and the baby's inclusion occasionally veer into parody, diluting the satire. The hint of spin-offs via Blanchett's cameo feels like a commercial overreach, clashing with the season's definitive tone. Compared to Season 2, Season 3 feels more complete, with tighter pacing and higher emotional stakes. However, it doesn't recapture Season 1's raw urgency, as the game's novelty wanes and some character arcs, like Jun-Ho's confrontation with In-Ho, feel underwhelming. Squid Game Season 3 is a brutal, emotionally devastating finale that cements the series as a landmark in television. Its exploration of sacrifice, greed, and humanity, coupled with inventive games and standout performances, make it a worthy successor to Season 1 and marked improvement over Season 2. Gi-hun's death, while polarizing, delivers a powerful message about selflessness in a cruel system, though it leaves some fans longing for a more triumphant resolution. The season's flaws, over-the-top VIPs, and an open-ended epilogue don't overshadow its strengths, but they highlight the challenge of concluding a phenomenon. For fans invested in Gi-hun's journey, Season 3 is a heart-wrenching, unforgettable farewell. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment your thoughts on Season 3 below, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching.